Who is Madeline Soto, and what led to her tragic disappearance? In the quiet town of Kissimmee, Florida, the life of 13-year-old Madeline Soto took a dreadful turn. On the morning of Monday, 26th of February, Madeline was reported missing. She was last seen near Village Park Drive, heading to school. A beacon of innocence, Madeline was a petite girl, standing at 5 feet 1 inch, with blonde hair and blue eyes. Dressed in a green sweatshirt, black shorts, and white Crocs, she bid farewell to her home, not knowing it would be her last. Stephen Stearns, the boyfriend of Madeline's mother, was the last person to see her. He claimed he had dropped her off close to Hunters Creek Middle School, but not directly outside. However, the school bell rang, classes began, and Madeline's seat remained empty. Her absence went unnoticed until her mother arrived to pick her up, only to be met with the chilling reality that her daughter was missing. In the wake of Madeline's disappearance, more than 50 law enforcement officers combed through the nearby woodland, spurred on by messages found on Madeline's phone expressing her desire to live in the woods once she turned 13. As the hours turned into days, Madeline's disappearance sparked a massive search operation. The town of Kissimmee held its breath, hoping against hope for the safe return of its young resident. With Madeline missing, the Orange County Sheriff's Office sprang into action. The case was treated with the utmost urgency, and the search for Madeline became a top priority. The effort was monumental, involving more than 50 law enforcement officers who dedicated their time and resources to finding the young girl. The search didn't just cover the immediate area where Madeline was last seen. It extended to nearby woodlands too. This was not a random choice. It was driven by a clue found on Madeline's phone. Messages revealed that she had expressed a desire to live in the woods once she turned 13. This information gave the officers a potential lead to follow, a glimmer of hope in the grim situation. The officers combed through the woods, meticulously searching every inch of the area. They hoped to find any sign of Madeline, any trace that could lead them to her. They understood the gravity of the situation. Time was of the essence, and every moment counted. As the search for Madeline continued, the officers remained relentless, fueled by the hope of bringing the young girl home safely. But as they searched, they also started to look into the circumstances of her disappearance. They began to dig deeper into the hours leading up to the moment Madeline went missing. They started to scrutinize the last person who saw her, her mother's boyfriend, Stephen Stearns. Stearns claimed that he had dropped Madeline off near her school that fateful morning. However, she never made it to class. This discrepancy raised questions, and the officers were determined to uncover the truth. While the search continued, investigators started to uncover disturbing evidence. The investigation was just beginning, and the chilling discoveries would soon lead them down a path they wished they wouldn't have to tread. As investigators dug deeper, they discovered chilling evidence pointing towards Stephen Stearns. They found video footage that seemed to unravel Stearns' initial claims. This video, captured by the surveillance cameras of their apartment complex, presented Stearns in a different light. It showed him disposing of Madeline's belongings in a dumpster. Among these discarded items was the young girl's backpack and her school-issued laptop, items that should have been accompanying her to school, not discarded in a dumpster. The timestamp on the video was a crucial piece of the puzzle. It was around 7:35 in the morning, a time when Madeline should have been preparing for school, not having her belongings disposed of. And then, another unsettling piece of evidence emerged. Just before 8:20, Stearns was seen returning to the complex with Madeline visible in the vehicle. The investigators strongly believed that by this time, Madeline was already dead. But the evidence didn't stop there. Stearns' phone held a horrifying secret. Upon inspection, investigators discovered disturbing images. These were not just inappropriate, they were criminal and sexual in nature. The kind of material that would lead to charges of sexual battery and possession of child sexual abuse material. Stearns had tried to delete these images, but the digital imprint remained, adding another layer to the mounting evidence against him. With each new discovery, the case against Stearns was solidifying. The discarded belongings, the suspicious video footage, and the damning evidence found on his phone all pointed towards one person, Stefan Stearns. As the puzzle pieces fell into place, the picture became increasingly clear. With this mounting evidence, Stearns became the prime suspect in Madeline's disappearance. In light of the damning evidence, Stefan Stearns was arrested. This marked a significant turn in the investigation of Madeline Soto's disappearance. Stearns, who was the last person to see Madeline, was taken into custody by the Orange County Sheriff's Office on Wednesday, the 28th of February. What led to Stearns' arrest? Well, it was the discovery of deeply disturbing images on Stearns' phone. Despite his attempts to delete these incriminating files, the authorities managed to retrieve them. The nature of these images was, to put it lightly, shocking. They were described as criminal and sexual in nature. This discovery resulted in Stearns being charged with sexual battery and possession of child sexual abuse material. The authorities shared a video of Stearns, handcuffed and looking defeated, a stark contrast to the man who had claimed he dropped Madeline off near her school. Stearns, who had woven a narrative of innocence, was now the prime suspect in Madeline's disappearance. It's important to note that Stearns was not just any suspect. He was the boyfriend of Madeline's mother. This made the situation all the more tragic and unsettling. The home where Madeline should have felt safe and protected had become the epicenter of her disappearance. As Stearns was taken into custody, the investigation continued, with the authorities tirelessly working to uncover the truth. His arrest was not the end, but rather a significant leap towards justice for Madeline. While Stearns was in custody, the search for Madeline took a grim turn. The focus of the investigation shifted from finding a missing girl to locating a body. As the chilling reality set in, the fervor to uncover the truth intensified. The story of Madeline Soto was far from over. On March 1st, the search for Madeline Soto ended in tragedy. The frantic 4-day search that had law enforcement officers combing through nearby woodlands, neighborhoods, and back alleys culminated in the heartbreaking discovery of the 13-year-old's lifeless body. The location was a secluded, wooded area in Osceola County, a place Madeline had once mentioned wanting to live in when she turned 13. Sheriff John Mina from the Orange County Sheriff's Office, the leading authority in this case, delivered the devastating news. His solemn words painted a grim picture. The sheriff's office, he said, was confident that the body found was indeed Madeline's. The family had been informed, and the community was left reeling from the news. The confirmation of Madeline's death came less than a week after her disappearance. She had failed to show up for school on a Monday morning, and by Friday afternoon, the worst fears had materialized. The local sheriff's office had transitioned from a missing persons search to a tragic recovery mission. Now, the place where Madeline was found, a wooded area off of Hickory Tree Road, is marked by the cruel reality of her untimely end. It's a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the dangers lurking in our seemingly safe neighborhoods. The announcement from the sheriff's office was concise, yet its impact was far-reaching. Madeline's family, friends, and the entire community were plunged into mourning. The young girl, who was last seen wearing a green sweatshirt, black shorts, and white Crocs, was now the tragic center of a story that no one wanted to believe. The tragic end to Madeline's disappearance sent shockwaves through the community. The harsh reality of her death is a bitter pill to swallow, and the grief is undoubtedly profound. But amid the sorrow, there's a determination to find justice for Madeline, to ensure that her short life was not in vain and that the person responsible is held accountable. Despite the tragic discovery, the investigation into Madeline's death is far from over. The gears of justice are still in motion, grinding tirelessly to bring clarity to this heartbreaking case. The Kissimmee Police Department, now leading the investigation, continues to unravel the circumstances surrounding Madeline's untimely demise. With Stefan Stearns, Madeline's mother's boyfriend, now in custody, the focus has shifted from search and rescue to a chilling homicide investigation. Stearns, who was the last person to see Madeline alive, is facing charges of sexual battery and possession of child sexual abuse material. These allegations, stemming from the disturbing images discovered on his phone, paint a gruesome picture of the events leading up to Madeline's disappearance. Yet beyond these charges, the question that haunts everyone is, what exactly happened to Madeline? The police are meticulously sifting through the evidence, piecing together the timeline, and deciphering the chilling clues left behind by Stearns. The Kissimmee Police Department has shared photos of Stearns' car, which was seen in the vicinity of the crime scene. They are urging anyone with information related to the car or its movements on that fateful day to come forward. Every bit of information, no matter how insignificant it may seem, could prove vital in this ongoing investigation. As the case progresses, Stearns remains in custody, his fate hanging in the balance of the judicial system. The charges against him are grave, and if found guilty, he could face severe penalties. Yet, as we all know, the wheels of justice turn slowly but surely, and it's crucial to allow due process to take its course. As we await justice for Madeline, her case serves as a stark reminder of the importance of community vigilance. In these trying times, we must remember that our collective efforts can make a difference. By staying vigilant and reporting any suspicious activities, we can help keep our communities safer and prevent such tragedies from repeating. The Madeline Soto case is a cautionary tale for all of us. It serves as a stark reminder of the harsh realities that exist within our society, even within the confines of what should be the safest places: our homes, our neighborhoods, our schools. It's a story that underscores the importance of vigilance and communication in our communities. The absence of a 13-year-old girl from school should raise immediate concern. It highlights the need for open communication channels between schools and families, ensuring that a child's absence is promptly noted and investigated. In Madeline's case, the alarm was raised only when her mother went to pick her up, hours after her disappearance. This case also brings to light the role each one of us can play in our communities. We must be the eyes and ears on the ground, observing and reporting any suspicious activities. It's not about living in fear, but about being aware and responsive, understanding that our actions could potentially save a life. Moreover, the Madeline Soto case is a somber reminder of the importance of supporting victims and their families. In times of crisis, a community's strength is truly tested. It's about more than just sharing news updates or expressing concern. It's about offering tangible support, whether it's joining search parties, providing resources or simply being there to lend an empathetic ear. Let's also not forget the role of law enforcement in these situations. While they are tasked with protecting us, they rely heavily on our cooperation and assistance. Reporting crucial information, no matter how insignificant it may seem, can be the difference between a case solved and a mystery unsolved. As we remember Madeline Soto, let us strive to create safer communities for our children. Each one of us has a part to play in this endeavor. Let's be proactive in our efforts to ensure the safety of our children, because every child, like Madeline, deserves a life free from harm and full of promise.